Hi, this is Kim with www.embody-light.com, and today I'm interviewing Dee. And Dee is someone I met way back when I was channeling Eric. Um, Both of us have, different psychic kind of abilities, spiritual gifts, and so it's kind of a common bond. And a lot of times, what happens is, well, most of the people I know who have started with their spiritual development usually earlier than others have is because of traumas we experienced in our younger life. So we had some common bonds, and so I talked about this in my last video. I made a video about I've collected many pictures of Christ over the years, antique pictures, and there were very unique circumstances when I'd find them. Um, if you haven't seen the video, go back and watch it. It was my last one released. But then I touched base with Dee, must have been this summer, and found out she has these cloud photos that are just really profound. So I wanted to ask her a few questions about her photography and her artwork and what she does, and then we'll talk about some of the images in the clouds because they're really, really pretty fascinating. So, were you okay? Starting off, one of the things I wanted to ask you: were you aware when you were growing up that you had like psychic abilities or gifts or things that other people didn't have, or did you just think everybody had them, or how was that for you growing up?
Oh, thank you. I'm very happy to be here. So thank you so much for that, for having me, first off. And okay, so growing up, well, I was adopted into a family that was a little bit dysfunctional, long story short. So I was neglected a lot. And from the age of, I would say 2 years old, I have clear memory to this day of a lot of stuff, probably earlier than that, a little bit. And I always sensed beings around me. I always sensed the other side. I always sensed good side and dark side. And I was very in tune with a lot of things that I noticed people around me didn't notice things, you know, a
Hmm.
lot of special little tiny details. So that was different. But yeah, I wouldn't say I was aware of psychic. I didn't see spirit. I felt. Um, yeah, but early on, I was in a place with an awful lot of distraction and not really much support. So my spiritual awakening, my real awakening, my big awakening came about 6 years ago.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, okay, so we've got the cloud photography with the images on it. So were you always interested all of your life in photography, or how did this come about?
Yes, I'm born with a huge interest in photography on both sides of the camera. So I did do some modeling back in the day. So I know what it's like to be on this side. But as a child, right away, all I wanted was a camera. And I just have an eye for photography. I see things um, and then I take pictures, and it doesn't matter what it is. My friends would always get me to take their pictures because I could just do it quite well. It was a natural
Hmm.
gift. And then I went away from any type of photography for years. And this spirit photography came to me in my spiritual awakening about a year after my spiritual awakening really took off.
Hmm.
They came to me. They told me, look out the window. They told me, look up in the sky. They told me, click and point.
And so when you were doing that, were you aware of what you were capturing, or just following instructions and seeing it later?
Both. It depends. I have probably 100 of these now. And every time it's different in different places. I could be in the house. It could be something in the house. It could be out the window. I could be walking out on the street. I will hear them say over there, or point and click, stop, take a picture. There's times where I don't hear anything. I just stop and take a picture. It's a knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I don't see anything with the naked eye, and I know I'm supposed to take a picture. It's, that's intuition really deep in my solar plexus. And I take a picture, there's nothing there, but when I get home, it's like, oh my goodness, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there was things there. Other times, I'll just see like the one with here in Calgary, Canada, the where you see the big angel eye in the sky and the Calgary Tower. That one was as clear as could be. And I was like, wow, have to have a picture of this.
Mm-hmm.
The storm demon, I was looking at the storm one day out my living room window, and that was as clear as could be. And when I took the picture, it's as clear as I saw it, for example. But other ones, no.
So Dee makes prints of these, and you can get them through her website. And the ones we'll link her website in the description box. The one she's talking about, you can click on and go take a look. I ordered three, and I like that cross shield one too. I might order that at some point in the
Mhm.
future as well. But this is my favorite one. We'll talk about these images in a bit, but the one thing I also wanted to talk about before we started going over these images is you wrote a children's book. What is the name of it again? Lolo? Where does Lolo go?
Where does Lulu go? One
Lulu go.
second.
Okay. That's what I forgot to grab in the other room, and I'll have to pause it for a minute when I do go get it. But because I have a copy, and it's about children dreaming and astral traveling and that kind of thing.
Sorry
And
about that.
so, oh, she's got her copy right there. Yeah. So I
Yeah, I had to
asked
go and
her,
get it.
hmm?
I had to go and get it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So I asked her, when did you start astral traveling and how was that for you? Because I just assumed she did. And what I found out, interestingly enough, she doesn't or doesn't have awareness. My guess is you probably do, just don't
Yeah,
remember it.
we all do.
And it was a download. And then in that book, in the back, there's even more cloud pictures. And now I'm trying to remember, did you have a sketch of the channeling Eric in that book as well? Or was that
No, not
on your website that I saw that?
that's on the website. In the
Okay.
book, I don't have the sketches in the book. Um, I just have the some of the pictures because Eric helped me so much with this book. Um, at the end of the book, not to give too much away, but Lulu does look up in the sky and see the E's that Eric drew for her
Mm-hmm.
in the sky, like he did for me. So the real picture of Eric's E's written in the sky are in the back of the book.
Yeah, yep, I did see that. So then, okay, so then you have another really unique talent. Where you're able to, we'll go back to the book in just a second. I had another question in that, but where
Okay.
you sketch people that are deceased. And so I asked, I wrote out some questions before we had this interview. Um, I wanted to know how long she's been an artist. And surprised again, she says she's not. She only sketches deceased people. And so tell us how it happened, how the first time it happened, and how you go about doing that. It's kind of like automatic writing for you, isn't it?
Yes, it's
Okay.
automatic sketching. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it's automatic sketching. I didn't know what was happening to me at first. I was sitting actually right where I'm sitting now, a few years back, and I was in a completely different time, and a much darker area. I was coming out of it. Eric was a huge help, but I was almost rock bottom at the time. And I was just sitting here and something told me. I was looking at Eric and pictures of Eric and stuff like that. And something told me, go take a piece of paper from the printer. So I did. And next thing I know, my favorite picture of Eric, I'm sketching him. I can't draw.
Mm-hmm.
And so this this started to happen and I thought, whoa, what's going on here? And I heard keep going, keep going, keep going. Before I knew it, I had sketched his picture. And I was with my ex at the time, and he knows I can do stick people. That's it. I can
That's
draw an
my art abilities too. Yeah, stick people.
yeah. And I I can draw an eye, but that's the maximum. My whole life has been so frustrating with art. I flunked in art school. I would go home and cry because I couldn't do anything. And when my ex was here, I went and showed him this piece of paper, and he went, "Whoa!" I'll never forget it. So it was just keep on going. And then Nikola Tesla one was the next one. But the strange thing was when I was sketching the first one, which was Eric, I couldn't get the eyes right. And I was fighting and fighting and fighting, and I couldn't get the eyes right. And I thought, well, you can't draw. So why are you getting upset? You know, you're lucky you've gone this far. And I had erased them at least 6 or 7 times. Now,
Mhm.
take in mind this thin paper, every sketch I've ever done, no matter how much I erase, nothing rips, nothing breaks, nothing ruins the sketch. It's the weirdest thing. Paper's as strong as can be. And I erased those eyes 6 or 7 times until all of a sudden I heard, those are my eyes here and now. Here and now. These are my eyes here and now. So it turns out that each sketch and each picture I've been given to do of a person that's on the other side of the veil, I will end up doing their like an almost exact likeness portrait of that picture. But then the eyes come out exact, like they're like they're alive. They like you're looking at them, they're looking at you through the veil, like
Mhm.
here I am, I'm still here, I'm still close to you, which has been so comforting for people that have lost loved ones, you know.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
these sketches do take a long time because like I said, I don't draw. I can't draw. I have to get called to do them. I have to have a feeling. I have to have permission from the other side. You know, the individual that orders the sketch and picks the photos, I ask the other side, which photo, please? And they tell me which photo. They let me know, and then I let the person know, is this one okay? Because this is what they're asking for. And once I have all this permission, I just start.
So is this a service you do? So
Yes,
people can contact you if they'd like a sketch.
yes,
Okay, okay. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, and then so let just back to the where does your book, your child's book, where does Lulu go? Lolo go. Lolo, Lulu?
Lulu.
Lulu.
Where does
Okay.
Lulu
I
go?
keep mixing it up. Um, okay, so that was, you told me that was downloaded and
Yeah,
that you
from
didn't
both.
astral travel. And so your reason for, I just wanted to touch base real quick before we start talking about the pictures. The reason you wanted to do this, you were telling me, is because so many children are having night terrors and stuff and not knowing what it is. So it's a book
Yeah,
that, and it's about 150 pages. So parent, isn't it 150? Is that what you told me?
182
182, even bigger. So
is quite big.
it's a book that the parents and children could go through together. I know like some of my grandchildren, just night terrors and things like that, and their parents aren't so much into this stuff, so um, they're not really believing, what could be going on. But
Mm.
that's really good information for people to have and to understand it. I know when I was a child, I would sleepwalk and sleep talk all the time.
Wow.
I would time travel to other timelines, and I was
Wow.
never aware of, because I was reliving past lives and dreams, but I didn't know that's what I was doing. I thought they were just scary dreams.
Hmm.
It wasn't until, because a lot of people who astral travel, if you're doing work in your sleep, you don't remember in the morning because it can be, you can get yourself into some situations that are violent or where people are being harmed. So a lot of people don't remember that, but apparently, um, I do astral travel, but only a fractal. My whole soul doesn't leave my body, and I never remember it until the morning when I'm coming back home into
Hmm.
my body. Then I'll remember it, and I might have some
Wow.
idea of what I'm doing, but I had no idea what was going on. But one of the things I wanted, as long as we're talking about this, if you put a selenite tower and a piece of black tourmaline under your bed and under your child's bed if they're having trouble. This
That's
is going
right.
to help them to sleep a lot and not have nightmares. So, and if you put one in each corner of your house and under your child's bed, it'll make a huge difference as well. So, did you have any more comments or anything you wanted to talk about before we started kind of going over the images we see here?
I just wanted to explain just quickly that I didn't have any help with all the different things and feelings that I was going through as a child. And I also am very aware of the children now that are suffering in silence. Um, they're not able to say something, or if they do say something, they're not understood of what they're experiencing because up until about the age of 7, and I think it's now 8, they're very close to the other side and they're coming in with different frequencies now than compared to 40, 50, even 30 years ago, you know. So they've got to keep up with the evolution of the planet and what's going on. And they're very up to date with things. They can still see spirit and feel spirit, and they need to be able to talk about it. And some of them are very distraught about it. Some of them are okay, but wondering why their parents aren't taking them seriously. And this is a kind of a self-help book to help children at bedtime to want to go to bed and to calm down the anxiety. There's breathing exercises in the book as well. So it does a lot of different things. And I just want to be able to help children all over the world to know that they have something like this that they can go
Mhm.
to and their parents can read it with them and understand them.
Yeah, I think that will be very helpful.
And that's the end of that one.
Okay, well, so we were playing around with the lights this morning before we started, trying to get
Hmm.
a better image here with this. And so this one, um, you can see, I hope you can see it in the what I have the cameras capturing it, but you can see the profile of a face right here, and then you can see some. Right here is the profile of the face, and then you can see some hands in a prayerful position. And so this, and I don't recall right off, what did you name this picture?
Mother Mary blessing, because eventually your eyes will adjust. The hands are actually like this. It's two
Mm-hmm.
hands, and she's blessing down on the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so, okay, so there's this image here,
Hmm.
but when you look at it, I see so many other beings depending. I mean, that's clear in there. I don't know how well it's showing up on here, but
Yeah.
if you go to Dee's website, you will see a clearer image because the lighting was better. But so this is very clear. But when I have to stand up to kind of see where the other ones are. When I look at it from, especially if it's lower and I'm looking down, I see there's a face here.
That's right.
There's another face here.
Hmm.
There is, and now it's a little bit harder to see. So two faces facing this way, this one, and then there is another one And now I can't make it out in this light, but there's another one, an actual fourth face right down in here.
Yeah.
So my guides, my guidance system, what I get out of this is now I can almost see it a little clearer from where I'm sitting, is we've got Mother Mary, we've got Mary Magdalene. The image I see through here is Yeshua. And then the other one down here, I'm not sure about, but I think it might be Joseph of Nazareth, the
Maybe.
fourth one. That's who I
Hmm.
think it is, yeah. And you can see, that these are real photos. You can see there's a building here and another building right there. So,
Hmm.
yeah, do
Well,
you have any comments about this one that you wanted to add on?
there's a story behind this particular one.
Yeah, I'd like to hear
So
it.
that is the right side of Mother Mary. You can see the scarf at the top of her head. You can see her nose and her neck and her collar, and
Mm-hmm.
then the hands blessing. So it is the right side of her. The wisps are angel wings. She's surrounded by angels as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so back when I was going through a really hard time in, I think it was 2019, I was just coming out of rock bottom, very, very dark place, very scary place. I asked a question before going out to the store, and I just said, I just threw up my hands and said, "Am I safe?" And I forgot that I had asked that question. So I went walking out to the store, and I'm walking quite fast, and there's not a cloud in the sky. I'm looking everywhere and there's nothing, not the tiniest little thing. And all of a sudden, as I'm walking, there's buildings on the left that I'm going, there's streets going down to the left. So there's a block, there's another block as I'm going this way. And something catches my eye up in the sky to the left, and I didn't pay attention because I was far away in thought, but I subconsciously remembered that something caught my eye up in the sky. But I just kept on walking, and the next block, and then the next block, and then something in my caught my attention again. And I said, "Oh, there's a cloud up there." So, and I thought, that's strange, that cloud all by itself, but it was very clear that it was all by itself. So I kept on walking, and then I turned direction, walking the direction of the cloud down these streets now, because to get to the store, you have to turn that street there. And I saw this cloud, and I saw it's moving to the right. So it just seemed strange to me, and I was looking at it and didn't think anything of it, totally forgetting my question before I left the door of my house. And
Mm-hmm.
then I went into the store, got what I needed. And when I came out of the store to the right, that's that building that you see on the right there. I'm standing in front of a store, and I
Mm-hmm.
look and I say, wow, that cloud is just sitting on top of the building. So it was sitting on top of the right building when I got out of the store. So then I turned, and now I'm going a different direction, and the cloud is on my right, the buildings are on my right, and I take about another 10 meters of walk another 10 meters, and the cloud, I look over and the cloud has lifted off the building. And I'm thinking, how can a cloud lift that fast off the building? So I said, I'm going to take a picture of this. Something told me to take a picture of that cloud. And then I walked a few more steps, and it moved again significantly. And I took a few more pictures. And And then I turn to the left, and I'm walking down the street to come back home. So now the cloud is behind me. And I walk about a block, and I turn around and I look up. And again, it's the only cloud in the sky. And I said, is this cloud following me? Nobody's ever going to believe this, but it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, I better take a picture of this. And I took another picture of it. And when I got home, that's what I saw. It
Very
was Mother
interesting.
Mary blessing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. This is my favorite one of the three I got. So I started with that one. So we can move this out of the way. And then I'm going to show you Yeshua and the bleeding man. So, yeah, I will put this up later. Okay. All right. So next, We have this one. Okay, now this one plays tricks on me. So
I'll
I,
explain why.
sometimes you have to look at it at certain angles. Sometimes it can be because my third eye is just not open. I'm distracted by whatever's going on, or it's just the angle. But there is a picture of Yeshua in here, and then there are other pictures too. So, um, am I at about the right spot for the Yeshua? Image
Yes,
of Yeshua? Right around in through here is a
right
picture
there,
of, hmm?
right there.
Right there. Picture of
Just move it up
Yeshua,
a little bit more. Right there.
right
His
here.
head is bowed. That's the right side of his face. His head is bowed.
Okay, so right through here.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's that. And then the pleading man
he's
is
in the middle of the, he's in the middle. Right there.
right here.
To the right more. He's right there.
Okay.
You're
So
on his hair.
this is the pleading man.
Yeah,
Okay. You said this is like the hair right here?
right there.
Right there. Okay.
There, that's, he's got hair going. He
Okay.
must be, he must be
So
flying or
there's
something.
the pleading man. And then there's some other, I don't know if you can see it on here. There is a very clear image right here of a man's face with a beard and a mustache. Did you have any idea who that was? No? Okay.
No, there's many beings in this picture.
Right. And then um this one I can't see it the way it is right now. I see it when I look down on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, right here. Two eyes. There's like a woman's face right here. Two
Uh-huh.
eyes right there. So I don't know who that is either, but that's really an interesting one.
That one of my very first pictures was out the back window in my back room of my apartment. That's the only place where we get the sun, and that's
Mhm.
where I have said my most profound prayers, where I do a lot of prayer there. And coming out of my darkness and into my spiritual awakening, took quite a bit of time, took years, and I was still there praying. And then all of a sudden I looked up in the sky and I could see things. So I started taking pictures because I said, you know, again, nobody's going to believe this. And so you can see the two balconies of the other building. It's the sister building to this building. And yeah, so I took a picture one day because I could see Yeshua and I could see this man pleading. And the thing about this photography, it's not regular photography, it's spirit photography. So these images that are coming through that are gifts given to me, to share with the world are from another dimension.
Mhm.
It sort of looks like they're up in the clouds, but they are different dimensions because the reason why I say that is because you'll always see something different, and every single picture and poster that's made is never can be duplicated. They're always different. So if you have Earth, for example, in this third dimension reality, we can take a picture of a table and we can duplicate that picture 1,000 times. It's going to be the exact
Mhm.
same picture, lighting, dimension, table, everything. But
Mhm.
from other dimensions, every single time a picture is developed, there's two things that happen. First, never comes out exactly the same. Beings that are in there on one picture might not show up on the next picture, but they will show up maybe on a third picture.
Mhm.
Other beings will show up. The main characters always show up that are supposed to show up. And every time you look at them, it's like an abstract. You're going to see something different in different lighting. You're going to look at it 5 months from now and go, was that always there? I didn't see that before. It's they're pictures with a lot of extra energy. You know, the scalar energy is on all pictures, be it third dimension or otherwise. So yeah, they're abstract basically, but they are
Mhm.
not from this earth.
I wanted to mention too, before I had these put up, I just had them laying against a wall, side by side in another room. And my dog would go in there and lay in front of those and just stare at those pictures. It was quite amusing, yeah.
Oh,
So he
that's
must have
beautiful.
picked something up. So, yeah,
Yeah.
to me, this man looks a little bit like Yeshua too.
We've got the glare of your window. It's a little bit
Yeah,
difficult,
it's
but
hard to see, but
yeah, I do see that. I do see that.
yeah, to me, that does look a little bit like Yeshua too, also. So let's
Hmm.
see, let's put this over to the side. And then I've got my final one here, the stairs to heaven. And I suppose you couldn't name that Stairway to Heaven because of copyright reasons, right?
I get told what to name them.
Yeah, it just made me think of that. I wonder if
I
that
never thought of
is
that.
copyright.
I never thought of that.
Yeah, so happens to be one of my favorite teenage songs. So let's see if I got this. I hope it's even.
Hmm.
Okay, and we can, yeah, you can see it there.
You might have to tilt because this is a long one. It's missing the
Hmm.
bottom. You only see the
Yeah,
top of the
I'm
picture.
having a little bit, I'll just have to lift it up because I've got a table with
Okay.
bowls behind it and a little bit of a room issue. But you can see, the trees and the street light.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you can see, I'm just gonna set it back down, but you can see here is the main
Yeah. The
steps.
stairs.
The steps. So what were the circumstances with this picture?
This one, I was at the river at my favorite place, sitting on the bench and just out the back here near my house and my apartment. And I was in a deep prayer that day, just in nature, just almost like a meditation, but
Hmm.
I was a good 10 minutes sitting on the bench and I was in very deep prayer of gratitude and just everything I could think of. I was just being natural and I got up and walked to the store. I was on my way to the grocery store and over near the grocery store, it was just blinding sunlight. And I was told, take a photo. There was nothing there. When I got home and I looked at it, I was standing over there and I'll never forget it. I almost fell over. I had to sit down
Hmm.
because there was nothing there. Because it was one of those moments where I was almost like ready to be that third dimensional human reaction of, oh, they can't see anything. And I stopped myself and I said, what just had a prayer of gratitude. What be grateful. You're being told to take this picture. All these
Hmm.
thoughts went very, very fast. And I took the picture, went into the store, did my shopping, came home, shopping away, said, oh yeah, I took pictures. I'll take a look. And such a gift.
Yes, yes, and it is really a nice one. I like this one a
Pretty
lot.
clear, pretty
Hmm.
clear.
Very clear.
A lot of skeptics have changed their minds
Hmm.
because you can't,
Can't
that's right
deny it.
there, you can't,
You have pictures that you've shown me personally that would wake up the world. That's how I'll say. Pretty
which are not
interesting,
going
some
out
of the
into the
things you
world until
capture.
I'm told.
Yep, yep, yep. So, so I wanted to ask you when you say, okay, when you say you're told to take the picture, do you, because I've had it happen in multiple ways, do you hear your own thoughts coming from your higher self? Do you hear an audible voice of another, or is it more the feeling that you translate into the voice, for lack of a better way to say it? Because it can happen all three ways. For me, it does. How do you, when you're told, okay, snap a picture, is that the voice of your higher self that's being directed, or is it an audible voice that belongs to somebody else that you hear?
It
or
belongs to somebody.
a knowing, because people will also describe, I heard a voice and it was a knowing that they had.
Yeah, it's not coming from my higher self. These are gifts from other beings. And I don't really hear an audible voice, like somebody's
Hmm.
whispering in my ear or talking beside me like we would in the third dimensional world. Um,
So is it in thought form? Is that how
it's
it comes in?
almost like a between a thought form and a knowing. It's
Hmm.
very hard to explain.
Hmm.
It's just go there, do that. And I don't even know.
Hmm.
You just do it. You just go and you do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. It's and but I have heard when I saw Archangel Michael in physical form out back window, I was in the middle of a prayer, and that's when I got in the left ear as if someone was standing right beside me, as clear as could be, a voice, like a human voice saying, "Look out the window." And I
Hmm.
ignored it, continued my prayer, and I was told again. But they were standing right here in my left ear. They were standing right beside me,
Hmm.
whoever told me to look out the window. Apparently, that was Archangel Michael telling me to look out the window.
Hmm.
So I heard his voice clear as can be.
Yeah, I have had it happen all those ways as well. Um, yeah, so this is just so interesting. So why don't you give everybody your website, and then I'll type it out and put it in the description box below. They can go to your site and they can order some pictures, or they can contact you about sketching a deceased loved one and go from there. Or order
Okay.
your book as well. Is your book on your website, or is that only Amazon?
It's on my website. It's on Amazon.ca. It's on Amazon.com. It's in Barnes and Noble. So we can put that link there as well if you
Hmm.
want. And so
Well, I would prefer if people ordered directly from Dee so that she gets the proceeds from her creation rather than splitting it with um,
well,
company that keeps most of it. So
oh, you're not kidding. About
yeah,
90%
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
But that's not the reason why I wrote the book. I wrote the book to help, and
Well, I
it's on a
know, but
cliffhanger.
it's nice to be compensated as well. If
It
somebody's
is.
going to buy the book, I'm just saying, go to Dee's
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for that. You didn't need to say that.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say that it ends on a cliffhanger. There's a lot of humor and fun in the book as well.
Hmm.
But the sequel is off the charts. And this is all downloaded to me. I can hardly type fast enough. The sequel is bigger and it is very funny. So I just thought I'd let you know that the sequel's out there. Well, not out there, but a sequel is coming and it will be out there.
Okay. Well, I will
So
be
there's
waiting.
that. So to get a hold of me, I guess the website is deesworldprints.com. And you can email me at your loved one's eyes by D at
Is that
gmail.com.
linked in with your website? Is there like a contact
Yeah,
page? Okay, okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay.
And yeah, that's it. Just my website and that Gmail to get a hold of me. And yeah, I just take first come, first serve. And the sketches do take a long time. Sometimes they've taken up to 7 months to do one sketch because um, I I end up connecting with the loved one that's passed, and they tell me things, and they tell me when and what I can sketch, and I can't just sit down and sketch because,
Mm-hmm.
like I say,
Mm-hmm.
I don't draw. I'm not an artist that way, and it's a very different process.
Divine timing, yeah.
Mhm.
That's very interesting. Okay, so I will link Dee's website, and if you want to have some fun and need some adorable prints, spiritual prints, these are good. I want to tell you quick before we get off. I had two of my grandchildren here spending the day with me yesterday, and The one little girl is, well, she's not so little anymore, but she's 12. She could see the faces. Not all of them, but she could see some of
Oh,
them. And she was quite interested. So um, I was just thinking these would be cute to have in your kids' rooms to, introduce them to spirituality and start to
mm,
show them to look beyond what you see. That isn't just a cloud. Look, there's an image in that cloud. And
hmm.
that would be a very beautiful thing. So, well, thank
And
you
the
so
energy
much. Yeah, and the energy too.
that comes off of them.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us at Embody. I have really enjoyed this subject. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. And Dee's information and how to get a hold of her will be listed below. And again, I do psychic readings, hypnotherapy, Akashic Records work, sound healing, Reiki, all kinds of things. So, and my
Yeah.
website is www.embody-light.com. So, have a blessed
Thank
day,
you.
everybody.
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Thank you
You're
for having
welcome.
me.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.